at top of the world getting ready to do the maze.
Welcome back, folks. Put your 4 points on because we're getting ready to go for a ride.
A lot of action.
We're on the maze today, 8-rated trail.
At least it's not windy today. Yesterday was pretty brutal.
This is probably one of my favorite trails in Sand Hollow. There's a line for everybody out here.
What's cool about the maze is you can pick a hard line or there's a lot of easy outs. So we tend to pick all the hard ones because we
like to break our...
we like to break stuff. We like carnage, especially Wayne.
What's kind of scary about the maze when you haven't really done it a lot is you don't know what's on the other side. So sometimes we have to stop and get out and make sure we're not dropping off of a 3-story building or something.
Yeah, especially when you have a seat sitting way back on a 2-seater and you can't see nothing but the sky.
One good thing to do is always to stay a ways back or make sure the other person's out of the way. So like a lot of times I'll wait for Bryce to get down out of the way before I go down in case for some reason my brakes didn't work or I broke something and I'd go down and...
Really your best bet is it's kind of like when you see a bear, you push your friend down so the bear attacks it. So if you follow somebody and he goes down, you know not to go down there.
I'll even do that going up the hills because up the hills almost even worse. If there was one time I was on a trail following a guy and he broke 2 rear axles and came right back down the hill. He just went up. So it was good I gave him space to, and it gives a person options too if they need to back up or take another shot at it.
And when you're following somebody, you try to pick somebody that's got the same wheelbase and width. That way you don't take the same line as Jeff Proof or Bryce. It will screw you up.
Yeah, nobody really has the same line as Jeff Proof. If you're in a 4-seater 1000 and on 32s and you're trying to follow Jeff Proof and do his line, it's probably not going to end up very well.
No.
It's just more footage.
Yeah, and then like there, I was able to let Bryce stay in back. Being a leader's tough of the group.
Because, yeah, it is.
Because especially on trails that we're not real familiar with, because
sometimes we do a loop-de-loop and then I start driving past everybody going the other way and everybody's giving me this deer in the headlight look and I'm like, I don't know where I'm going, and they just keep following me around. We're doing figure eights and everything.
Like right now, I don't think we know where we're going. We're cruising along here. What are we trying to hit first here?
I don't know.
We're just cruising. But the maze has...
You could probably spend 2 full solid days in the maze just if you were trying to hit everything.
Yeah.
It's pretty unlimited with lines and options and everything.
Yeah. And what's cool about it is you can go virtually anywhere when you're in the maze. In fact, that whole park, you can go pretty much wherever. What I really like about Sand Hollow is there's trails and then there's always a quick way out. So if you need to get out, you can hit the dunes and get on out quick.
Yeah, it's not like Pritchett Canyon or something like that in Moab, where if you're in the backside of Pritchett, it's either the 20-something mile trip out to the highway or back down Pritchett. And if you got broken parts, it sucks. Jeff, you can make zoom noises so you don't try to sweep the camera.
Right. Wayne, the way this works is we're talking. So like when you talk, that's what we're trying to get on here is voice. So like talking, like they can't hear you stare at it.
It's time for me to talk, I'll talk.
Oh, geez, this is a first. Usually we're trying to get you to shut up.
That's why I don't talk.
See, there's another little optional line right there that we drove past. Probably could have.
Was this the first day or second day?
The second day, yeah.
So I was in this?
You were riding passenger because you had a broken portal.
Oh, that's right.
Mom was riding with me.
It was her best day.
Why you do me like that?
She's like, I've never been so comfortable in my life.
She puts her feet up in the windshield and hangs out. I ask her, honey, would you put your feet back in, please?
No.
I think this is Cantam Hill coming up right here. It looks steeper from a distance. You can actually kind of see.
Yeah, you get it from the side view. It is.
Each time we go there, we get to the obstacles a whole lot faster than the first time we went.
Yeah.
It seemed like it took us all day to get there. Now we just pretty well get there pretty quick. Yes.
See what happens with these tires. They're not broken in at all, and that's steep as hell.
Jeff's tires actually are hooking up pretty good.
And if I said that didn't get my heart rate going, I'd be lying because it got the heart rate going. That looked like nothing, but that thing was steep, which we'll see here in a second.
Is it steeper than Totally Nuts?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't know.
And then Totally Nuts has a lip at the top too.
Yeah. Here in a little bit, Bryce, so you use me as a plumb bob to see how steep the hill is.
How many Jeffros tall is it?
We got Jeffro there as a reference. Camera's level. Jeffro's standing up straight, and that gives you how many degree angle that hill is. It's steep.
It is a fucker factor.
Poor Can-Am probably didn't make it one day, and he got named Cantam. Here comes Mr. Jacob.
Yeah, it doesn't do it justice.
It doesn't.
And you can see here, Jake usually sends it pretty good.
Jake, I think you got a Can-Am sticker on here, so this is Cantam Hill, so you might not be able to do it. I don't know.
This is where the spotter had to give
It's actually
encouragement.
Words of motivation.
Yep, commitment. I need some.
Yeah.
I need some commitment.
Denied.
Dude, that's two times.
He comes so
you
close to
scared
that.
the shit out of me. That's 2 times you scared the shit out of me. I think you're on the gas too hard. So just roll into the bottom and you don't need a whole lot of power. Don't try to break your tires loose.
I think that's the first time you told Jake. You don't need
That's so much gas.
it. Yeah.
Definitely not on the gas.
I think he was nervous at breaking a portal after he seen Dad's portal break.
Because every time if your right rear hits that, you're going over this way. Oh, really? Yeah, so favor this side more.
Yeah, so Jake is normally full sin. It's pretty rare to see Jake not full sinning up this right now.
Because it's that steep. I mean, you're looking at that thing. It is steep.
So Jake, get your front tires to about right here and get all your momentum, and then as you're going up, you can start letting off. You don't want to start hopping. Okay, try it again.
That rig's been hanging out, doing really good.
You want to skip it? You want to skip it? Oh, you ain't gonna break a portal. You ain't gonna break a portal. You're gonna flip if your tire hits that.
Oh, he was.
you're not
Jake is struggle bussing right now.
He needs a little bit more tequila.
There he goes.
There you go. And it wasn't so bad.
No, but it's bad when you're in the machine, I'll tell you that. Now we're cruising. I think we're trying to find totally nuts. You must be nuts, and you must be totally nuts.
I didn't really have any goals in mind. I was just driving around. I was
Yeah.
kind of lost.
Yeah. Well, it's been 2 years since we've been here, and we're gonna get back there sooner than later. So we're not 2 years again before we get back, and then we'll be able to know our way around better.
Some of these you can't see. We just trust the black marks lets us know somebody else has been here.
The views coming up when you get on top and looking around is just awesome.
Yeah, right there to the right, I would say that's a pretty big drop.
Yeah.
How many feet do you think that
That's
is?
several thousand feet down.
Several thousand.
I think so.
Isn't that what you fly at?
Which
Depends
time?
where I'm flying.
The Razor or the
Yeah.
airplane?
I think this obstacle here has a name. I'm not sure of it. It's just a big, long, steep grade with a lip at the top of it. Tires are actually hooking up really well on this rock.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to come down this.
It's weird that this rock is just a little different than Moab rock. Everywhere we go, the slick rock is just a little different. It hooks up.
This one might have had a little bit more dinosaur bone in it.
Yeah, I think so. But my tires surprisingly did really well because I don't have, what do I have? 136 hours on that Razor,
Yeah.
and part of that time wasn't even with the 44s.
We had 50 miles on it before we chopped it all up.
Yeah, so we're at 96 hours or something, 86 hours on that.
I think it's 120,
That much?
126 miles on it or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, see, Jeff does use it.
It's not for show.
No.
We got to get our money's worth and go on every ride.
There you go.
That's a good little drop down right there.
Yeah, that kind of ruined your day. A little 50-inch going there.
And that's another really good drop.
Yeah, that snuck up on me. Sabrina almost had a heart attack. I'm like, where's it at? It went straight down.
This is why they call it the maze. It's because just drive around everywhere. There's so many different ways to do things.
Yeah, I think we're coming up on totally nuts here.
Yeah, and nobody's had anything to drink.
I think I had a water. Actually, if I remember right, this is probably one of the best days. At least the amount of wind. I guess
It
the
was,
last
it
day
was.
was probably the best day, but
The day was really nice as well.
the day after this was pretty hot.
Yeah.
It was like 94 degrees.
Actually, we got lucky that whole trip was, except for the first day, was really windy. But you can kind of go different places to get out of the wind, which is nice.
See, good thing for that hydraulic steering. One hand on the steering wheel, one hand on the camera.
And sometimes when it's not on the steering wheel, it's on the reverse lever. That's a beautiful tire.
That's a nice tire. Boy, you got a nice tire. Give me a break, Jeff. I was trying hard, my hardest.
I guess we'll mount a camera on tire.
Maybe.
Cool part to have a camera on the back so the back guy can watch the front people.
I don't even remember what part this was. Here comes Josh. Just take a note on how his roof looks right now.
Oh, here we go. This is no, it's not. I'm confused. I'm dazed and confused.
Well, what were we gonna name this? Lucero's
think
Lip?
that's-
Yeah, oh, it is. Yeah, this is Cyril's lip.
I'm saying, yeah.
No, this gets really interesting.
Yeah, this gets I came in at the last part, saw my wife.
I sucked my seat cover up a little bit.
Oh my.
And my mom's laughing.
That's nothing as bad as what she usually goes through.
This is when I came around the corner and she's filming.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how an obstacle doesn't look really hard, but just one little wrong.
You're talking
certain-
if you're off an inch or two,
Yeah,
it could be.
it could be disastrous.
Yeah.
I happened to be directly behind Bryce when he did that, and the save he made was incredible.
Yeah, it's because I'm incredible.
I get carried away.
I've never done this one before. I couldn't see my tire or anything, so it's kind of all by feel through here.
That's a pretty nice angle.
Yeah, and this we'll see later. You're almost laying over on your side.
Yeah, that tire's off right there. This is one of those ones if you tip over, it's not that big of a deal.
No,
you
'cause
just kind of
it's-
fall over.
Yeah.
I just don't have a spotter. I've never done this.
Yeah.
Just keep your arm in.
Okay.
That was good without a spotter, because that you could actually get yourself bound up when you get in there.
Yeah, I'll flip over like we're about to see.
Yeah, because it didn't look like it. It didn't look like it was going to be that extreme.
So I just got done watching Bryce do this, so I'm like, I am definitely not hitting that hole. And rear steered a little bit there to get my rear end over, so I didn't.
That
have
was
to,
some technical driving. Right there.
technical driving, collision avoidance.
This is really see your wheels base.
There you go.
Yeah, this is where Jeff Proof shines. The width of this thing. on
Yeah.
this back.
Yeah.
Makes it a lot easier.
Makes it look easier.
There you go.
I think it's actually the quality driving that it just kind of just makes it as I fall, as I slip in.
Something to do with the spotter too.
See that? That was advanced spotting skills right there.
Yes, that was good. Having a good spotter is very important. And listening to that spotter
Exactly.
is very
I
important.
agree.
I don't
listen
know
to-
how a non-portal razor Turbo S will do. I wouldn't do this with Montgomery with yours. It's pretty. I'll probably turn Josh up this way. Up that way.
Which would have been a great idea to put him up the other way. Would have saved him a little bit of
That's what I would do. That got
headache
pretty bad.
here.
Some cost.
Some cost.
Yeah, so you can't see it right now, but I'm waving my hand. No, 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 no. I don't think he's looking at me.
Reverse! Reverse!
Get out of there, Montgomery.
You alright? You okay?
Never like walking up to a machine when you don't hear anybody
You
responding.
good? Did you see me? I did the same thing. I reversed out of it and I rode on one tire all the way to here. I don't think anything's damaged to where you can't drive it, Josh. It just went straight over backwards. You just got, I think, probably where the taillights are broken and then your light bar up here.
It's always good when you get back up on all four wheels and everybody's safe and you can still drive it.
Keep going, Jake. Keep going.
Josh was pretty upset that he rolled
No,
with his wife
you're
in
not
there.
Close yet. You're not close yet. All right, start bumping it.
I don't think it even broke the windshield.
It didn't. No. I think just his light bar there got, and he had some plastics in the back.
It's pretty much just cosmetic damage.
Yeah,
And,
next 2 days.
He's putting a new cage on it. It did bend the cage down a little bit, but
It bent it down a little bit right there. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. Whose cage is this? Vent. But nobody got scratches. Actually, the Razor, since it went over on
I can't believe you can convince him to go back
got a
up
little
it.
messed up. But honestly,
You gotta get back on that horse.
You can do it.
if you brought a couple bags of Quickcrete, we could have put it in that hole.
You're right. That's why having an aftermarket cage is important. It's just a factory cage. They just don't support the weight like an aftermarket.
Not when you get these Razors this big with all this weight. And
That was the way you were originally going to send them, right?
No, I was gonna have him straddle the hole, but instead of doing the crack, because I didn't think his Razor was wide enough,
Oh, to do the
just go up to the right and go up that.
and of course, after a crash that bad, you're a little nervous for a while. So you get back into the rhythm again.
Here comes Jake. Just watched his brother roll, so I'm sure he's pretty nervous.
Hey, Jake, don't let your right rear go into that hole, and don't let your left rear go into the other hole.
That's a lot going on.
Don't be falling in holes, Jake.
A lot of
All right,
people
now
will say
come forward. All right,
pass.
now come forward.
Jake manned up and went through it.
See that hole right where your tire's going? I don't want your tire to go in that. There you go. Now come back up. This part feels shitty too.
I just got through the shitty part and tell him it's going to get worse.
This is a good angle because you can see how steep that gets. I mean, his whole tire is almost on the ground.
The top of his sidewall is
Just a little bit.
just about dragging.
It is.
Now this is where hydraulic steering comes in.
It's nice to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
You're
not
not
fighting
fighting
it.
it, blowing a fuse on the electric steering rack. Good job, Jake.
Here comes Montgomery in the rental. 20 pounds of pressure in those tires. We got Dad as a co-driver there. You guys look like little kids with that cage.
I know.
You can put a whole nother person above you.
This is a cool little area going through here. This is where,
Let's come down to the, you gotta be nuts.
yeah, it is. And spots like this are really tough because being 96 inches wide, I really gotta, there's times that I'll get wedged. Or
I don't brag much, huh?
We carried a wide load sign and put it on Jeff Proof.
And that's a good little drop off.
Yeah, that's
right
a
there.
good little drop off. I remember that one too.
It just looks like you're going down a boat ramp right here.
And I like to go slow.
Mm-hmm.
It's just to hang there.
Yep.
I'll go down anything. Going up gets the heart pumping. And here we are. So this is,
You gotta be nuts.
you gotta be nuts.
When we first started doing that, I looked at that and said, yeah, it's stupid to do that. And then I went up with my two-seater.
Before it was stretched.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, okay, that wasn't so bad.
It looked bad because you wheelied up the whole damn thing.
Your throttle control was pedal to the floor.
And it's getting easier and easier.
This is a tight little spot up here to turn around.
I don't think I have video of Montgomery struggling there for a little bit trying to get turned. He
No.
was down in there at
He
an
was
angle.
very impatient. I was laughing my ass off. He thought we was gonna die.
The thing about coming off these big ledges like that, you can't see until your front end starts facing down. So you're like, I think I'm in the right spot.
Yeah. Looking for black marks.
And not in the undies either.
You're right.
I didn't wear my brown pants today.
You gotta be totally, or you gotta be nuts.
This is where I'm over there looking at totally nuts. Going, I had every intention to go up totally nuts. Here I am going up.
I wanted to try this one.
Oh, you gotta be nuts.
How many nuts are around here?
There's a lot of nuts.
There's 3 or 4 sitting right here.
And what Jeff goes up, he must come down. It's a rule of
Yeah.
law, right?
It is.
That's
Yeah.
a nice picture. That's when I go to the pearly gates, I'm gonna
Another
see that.
UAV.
Where are you taking so long for?
Because I like to go slow down.
Well, I've never seen you go slow down anything.
I always go slow down. You see, I spread it out for you.
That's a nice emblem on top of my roof.
Got a squeaky Heims joint. Gonna have to lube that before we go out again.
That's the window.
No, that's the Heims joint.
Was it a hype streak?
Yeah.
All right, so here Bryce goes.
Jeff was not happy about this one.
I wasn't happy. I was nervous for you. This is the first time we've ever done this obstacle.
Yeah, I've watched Bryce race go-karts, unlimited supercars, going around a track. I get a little butterflies. This one got me. I'm like, why are we doing this?
Because we can.
Because we hadn't done it before.
And my boss is looking at me like,
What are you letting my son do?
It almost seemed like it would slow crawl it all the way up right there.
It
I mean,
does.
it just kept having traction and traction and traction. But man, did it feel like shit. A little wheelie there.
and then it just stops and slows down. And
I look over at Jeff and he says, "Don't let off."
Stay in it. Stay in it. Oh my gosh.
we learned a lot out of that line.
I drove up, you gotta be totally nuts, and Jeff spotted me and filmed. I think Jeff is more scared than I am. It felt like shit. It felt like his life was in my hands. And there for a second, I thought life was gonna leave him. As the front 2 tires come off the ground. For the people that know this obstacle, they know how shitty it is. That was my first time, so it was pretty shitty. Yeah, but it hooked. It did. I didn't have enough momentum at the bottom, but luckily for sticky tires, somehow I let off the gas and the whole windshield pushed me back down, pushed me down, and I was able to go.
I just said, Jesus, take the wheel.
I think if I do that obstacle, I am going to go around to the left of those knobs.
You're
up
gonna
there
go
at the
around the
top.
obstacle.
No, go around the
Normally, I've never had Jeff say, "Hell no, I'm not doing it"
This
before.
is history.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's wrong with you, Jeff? And I wasn't going to convince him either.
No, not today. Not that day. My goodness.
Not on this day.
Well, I'm still learning this machine, and the machine just feels totally different. So it's the climbing is the seats in a different position. So it's a matter of me getting used to the machine, and once I get used to it, then
We'll be talking Jeff out of things.
you'll be like, "Don't do that, Jeff."
I jump and go back to the camp.
I'm actually surprised you didn't drive down it.
We have
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. The last time I drove down it in my old Razor, which was called Sally, and actually Wayne rode with me, and man, we stuck to that rock all the way down. We didn't have any troubles going down or slipping or breaking at all.
That's a pretty good drop off there too. You don't realize it.
You see those holes in that rock? Fish used to live there once.
Yeah.
Coming up to the soup bowl.
That's pretty exciting.
Actually, we're going to go up that crack here in a minute. So actually, there's a couple obstacles before the soup bowl. The soup bowl was the last thing we did. We've got the
There's a lot of cracks. We got to come up with names for the cracks.
cracks, yeah.
Like,
Crack 1, 2, and 3.
No.
North crack, east crack.
I was thinking more along like names.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of Josh. We got two obstacles are Josh's.
How about
names.
one we can call plumber's crap?
Right?
I'm riding with Montgomery right now, and his rental, he's doing really good.
That rental, I was amazed at how well that rental
You
did.
should have bought it from him.
Yeah. That thing is,
Should have kept that one.
Yeah. Like, this is a good one. Driving, filming is harder.
I was gonna do, well. See, I was filming my tire because I was doing a time lapse
Yeah.
over 6 months to see how fast my tire wears down.
Well, I guess I can do that on this. I actually like to go, when I hit an obstacle, go slow and see if I can slow crawl it up and get up over it instead of always just trying to throttle up it. So a lot of times I won't get over the first time because I'm seeing how good I can stick to that obstacle before I go. I must be thinking Bryce is going to go a different direction here.
You probably got lost for a minute.
I did.
Cindy said, "Let me out."
Let me out. I've had enough.
She's going to run down.
A lot of this stuff you can't walk up or down.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could if you wanted to twist the
can.
ankle or something. Yeah,
She just
I
hops it.
definitely can't.
Yeah.
The little leprechaun.
It's cool, all the rock formations that are in this. It just has the coolest looking rocks, different formations and shapes.
You know it's been good? We haven't worked on anything yet.
Not anything on ours, anything.
No, just a portal.
Oh yeah, just a portal. A single idler portal.
That was the day before.
It was the day before. Yeah.
I don't like your new technique of going slow
No.
and testing. That's not Jeff.
I do.
Yeah.
I sure do. It's a whole lot less work when we get back.
Yeah, this is a pretty good drop off too.
Yeah. Yeah, when Bryce is spotting down, it is steep.
We got Jake the snake. He's gonna go up there.
You got plenty of traction. Okay. You went right up totally nuts. Yeah, you did. You were up good.
We got Bryce spotting us, so.
This is like that one in the fallen where you go up and it like drops your left.
Jake the snake.
Same thing here.
This is an interesting little corner.
It's a fun one.
It is fun.
I'm a little nervous, but we got it taken care of.
Well, the risk versus reward is pretty low. Nothing really bad gonna happen to
No.
you here.
So my little two-seater go right through that.
You probably didn't even have to climb the wall. It probably just would turn it sharp enough to go right through it.
All right, folks, this is the most dangerous obstacle out there, and you got a bird's eye view. There's a hush in the crowd. We're fixing to get some air, guys.
Passenger on that little knob over there. Skid marks.
The scrub marks right there on the top right.
Yep.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna start turning left where your right front's gonna be up there. You're gonna slowly get the gas. It's gonna pick your tire up. It's gonna skid. And fall
Kind of like
down.
the fallen.
Yep, skid, fall down in that hole. And you're gonna don't gas and go out fast. Slow.
Okay.
Good job. Nice. Nice. Nice.
Stock machine, baby. Stock
Angel,
machine.
Angel, just, I'm rubbing off on him. That was good finesse right there.
See, everybody else picked up the tire of good, what?
Yeah.
4 foot right there.
And there's a hush in the crowd.
It's weird on some obstacles. It's probably
There's a hush in the crowd.
because it's so wide. It doesn't like the flip turn.
And see, you had it right here. If you would have turned passenger,
Yeah.
grab
Grab that side.
Yeah, Jake just went up with ease.
I don't see you driving up this.
Huh?
Where are you?
Stronger than whiskey.
I was gonna have you winch me up there, Jake.
Okay, we're still at the maze. I don't know what this one's called. Big crack. No, I don't think so. Sarah drove up this one. That's what we're here. Yeah.
This is the plumber's crack.
Call it Big Booty Judy.
A lot of times they have plates sitting on the side of them. They don't on this. The goal is to keep your machine as level as you can.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
fall
what
in the
it's
crack.
gnarly.
So the crack is bad.
Crack is bad. We got Montgomery. I'm surprised those tires really hooked up good. Little lift there.
Yeah, so we learned some hard lessons in here. Different line choice, different. Yeah, live and learn.
Yeah. This is one of those obstacles, though, that is, no matter what happens,
This
you're
is
not
a Polaris
falling
side
a
by
long
side.
ways.
Getting ready to do the Super Bowl. Stuff should have broke. Mine that we were in. Pro R.
I'm surprised it didn't break a CV shaft at least.
Side by side. Getting ready to do the Super Bowl.
Another thing we're gonna do too is let more nitrogen out of the shocks.
Yeah.
Give it a lower stance, let it sit down lower.
Looks pretty cool though.
The really hard part about this obstacle is you can't see anything when you're inside. So it is 100% trusting the spotter.
It's almost like you're in a bowl, huh?
It's almost like you're in a bowl.
It's like you're the soup in the bowl.
I'm fixing.
You're in shit soup.
I'm fixing to be in some soup. In a bowl.
So what we kept having a problem with here is at the bottom of this, it's hard to see. It's kind of V-shaped like a wedge, and he got stuck full droop, and it pushed his A-arms down in, and it wouldn't let him come back out. And then trying to split the difference here was it was being a pain.
It seemed like I fell in passenger and then I'd fall in driver.
I think hindsight 2020 probably could have just crab walked it out and just not even used that right side at all. I don't know.
Yeah, and it seemed like every position I was in a bind.
You were in a pickle.
The Jeff proof is pretty wide for this hole.
Yeah. We could do it though.
Oh, we're gonna do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just gotta find the better line for it. That's all.
Tell you them bards you added on to the side really helped. protecting all that plastic.
Yeah, there's some new scratches on there. That was a little bit of a belt right there.
That's the
Yeah, it was a
first
belt.
time- That's the very first time that belt burned.
If you could see the way that thing was wedged down in there, though, that tire, it should have broke a CV shaft or something. But
It's so close to coming back down. Can you push left with your rear steer?
I think you got too much air in your tires.
yeah, well, right now for sure the right front has too much helium.
Yeah,
For
it's
sure.
lifting.
If we
way
would have
too
took
much.
some helium out of that right front,
Keep
I
them-
thought you took it from 45 down to 25.
yeah, that's too much right there.
Even 25.
If we would have put more, if we would have put 45 pounds in the left rear,
That would have definitely helped us out.
It's starting to come down now.
Well, were we attempting to climb out the left side there? Or
I wanted to come out the right side is where I seen other people come out, but I think it would be a different line on this one. I'm not sure. Never done it before. His right rear tire was up on this ledge and his left rear was down in a hole, and it just kind of got all twisted up in there.
I don't know, Jeff. I would just back up. Back up? Yeah.
At what point do they consider it a flop? Is that a flop yet or not yet?
I don't know. We're darn close though. That machine's straight up and down. All I'm seeing is sky.
It never smoked though.
No.
What's your tip over gauge saying there? Done gone?
Bryce went for a ride.
I almost just laid on the hood right there.
Slowly come on.
Little radiator fan back there just slowly turning.
I think that's the camera that makes it look like that. So right there, I am so close. Yeah, but that left rear just
See, it's staying full drooped. So
Yeah,
if it would have widened back out, it would have drove out no problem. But it just got pinched down in there. All that weight is just sitting right there on that tire.
I have no weight on the front.
Just trying a little front dig to see if it would do anything. Kind of figured it wouldn't, but maybe. It's a nice sticker though on your roof.
That is a very nice sticker on the roof.
Don't ever scratch it.
Okay.
I think you can see my handprints across the windshield where I slid off of it. I was trying to get little hops in it. Maybe it would kind of relax the back, but yeah, you were right on the point of falling back in on your right rear.
You'll have to see that's almost a perfect. Full sing right there.
I almost had it right
What sucks is it was actually just crawling out of it.
there. Yeah. right there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it started to settle a little
Yeah.
bit. But see, when it was crawling up, it still wasn't,
Yeah.
the suspension wasn't
That
relaxing.
tire is just, it is just underneath. We need it on the side of that wall.
See, it's doing it. Hindsight 2020, if we would have kicked rear steer over, I think, and this crab walked it out, it probably would have just crab walked out.
Okay.
Eh,
The thing is it doesn't look as steep as it is, and there is zero weight on the front. All of that weight is on that rear tire. At this point, I am pretty much committed to right there. Can't back up.
Yeah, that left rear, if we could have got it just to settle down, it was just, the way it was stuck, it was just weird. We're going to pull some more nitrogen out of those shocks so they sit lower.
The flags on this perfect.
Yeah, they are.
It kind of shows you how steep it is. The flags are facing
It's
straight,
straight
down.
down.
This
That
is
back
where it
tire
goes.
fell on. You want his? Step a little bit. The cameraman didn't move.
No, the
That back
cameraman
tire
did
fell.
well.
You
That guy was solid. He risked life and limb.
The driver front tire really helped with that too. I think saved me from going further.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. And then that bumper that comes up on the hood, that protected a lot. I took a hard hit.
Yeah. But it didn't bend at all. You just scraped a little paint off. That's all quarter wall, isn't it?
120 wall,
120.
DOM, inch and 3/4. It's pretty much upside down, I would say.
It's pretty darn close.
We didn't have to pull the plugs though.
No, we didn't. Which I was surprised.
I think it smoked a little bit though.
Just a little when I first started it, yeah.
Get out of the way in case that thing rolls through.
I just can't believe that winch pulled it over.
That's a lot of weight right there.
Get out of the way in case that thing rolls through.
I think I even put a nice little Eagle Scout mount on that hook right there.
Did you?
Yeah.
The problem was I couldn't get to my winch because the way I was upside down, my remote was in a compartment that I couldn't reach.
Hey, look, there's Jeff. Look like you're in a space shuttle getting ready to launch.
Those seat belts on these Pro Rs are awesome because they're expandable or they'll retract. So when you are
Upside down, they hold you tight.
hold on, when they hold you tight, when you're upside down. But then when you're driving, you're able to move, which makes it nice.
Man, my poor winch.
And here she goes.
We use synthetic winch ropes too, so if they break, they don't chop anybody in half.
Put that in drive, you can probably drive out.
That would have sucked if it would have
It went all the way back.
Son of a. Hold on again.
But at least here we're able to get my winch out and hook up and get it the rest of the way. I don't think we didn't start it at this point because we weren't sure of if we had any oil.
Yeah.
But it's your logo. I didn't scratch the logo right.
Hope not yet. Before the last day of Red Rock, you can.
No, let's not. If you're scratching the roof logo, that's bad.
It's bad.
You pull the Bryce.
Maybe a tree branch. One thing that's important when you roll like this to have all your stuff strapped down, because I've seen people get hit with stuff they just had in their razors. So all extra stuff that is non-important.
Yeah, don't have like a spare CV shaft sitting in your passenger floorboard or something.
Yeah.
Battery or whiskey bottles.
I won't name any names, but somebody forgot to lock the cooler lid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
That's the only thing I lost out of that rollover. Ooh. Yeah, so there we just started it for the first time.
I bet you crawl right out of it right now.
We do end up crawling right out.
Should have done it the first time.
We'll just edit out the winch rope.
Yeah. I think I needed to just get about another foot where that tire gets off of that, gets out of that bind down there.
I think if we start further over like this.
Yeah,
Well-
further over to the left and go around.
If we had completed that obstacle, we would have completed all the obstacles at 110%. So we had to fail at one,
Yeah.
come back to conquer something. That could have been a lot nastier.
Yeah, I mean, you could flip down in there completely upside down and be wedged, and it'd probably take a few inches to get you back upright again.
So I'm just winching in and a little bit on the throttle. And up and out she went. We were so close in that obstacle. We were right there.
Oh, we're going to do it again. It'll be conquered next
So in
time.
this angle, you can see that hole, how deep that hole is right there that the driver rear was in.
Look there.
And here
That's a Jeff reference right there. It's at least, what is that, five or six Jeffs high?
Yes.
How tall is the Jeff?
The Jeff is 6 foot. So one Jeff is 6 foot. And if the cooler was closed, we would not be taking all the remnants from the cooler and throwing them back up.
I see the culprit down there, just barely.
We can't reach it.
You gotta admit, those are really good throws.
That's pretty clean toss.
Yep. I don't think they dropped a single one.
How many were?
There was a lot. There was a cooler full.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our videos.
And we have another great video coming out in another week.
Yeah.
Looks like you're on Mars right there.
That probably was.